guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nadia, and in today's video I want to share some of my life experience of living in Italy. I think it's very important for you guys who want to move to Italy for studies or work or maybe get married. So you want to know what to expect from this beautiful country that is mostly known for ancient history, beautiful art, design and fashion, landscapes and gourmet food all over the country. However, for living in a long period of time on a certain territory, you get to know some, peculiarities of the traditions and maybe some customs that you're not familiar with. So I thought, why not? I wish to share some of my experience in order to just get familiar with spoken and unspoken rules that are valid here in Italy, so that you guys, know what to expect and especially how to deal with them when you are in certain situations. So today's video is dedicated to driving fines that you can get in Italy, and for sure you will, because living in Italy is also meaning you have to drive a car. If you want to travel, if you want to, move from the city to the seaside and to mountains and have friends and, go to discos and come back and, just go around. Because if you live in a big city and you just want to go to school and come back from school and go grocery store shopping and come back, then it's quite okay without a car. I mean, you can go by using the metropolitan city buses and metro and etc. So there's not such a necessity. But if you want to live as a resident, constant resident in Italy, and you want to enjoy life in Italy, because that's the biggest and the best part of living here, you get to enjoy all this beauty that Italy has to offer, from fashion and design to landscape to gourmet food and to traveling, because there's so much to see in each of the regions of Italy. And you can travel by train, but that's quite a difficulty. I can tell you from that, because in the first years of my living here I was going by train many times, and I can tell you some of the experiences in that aspect too, from the point of view of cost effective and the service that you can get from Trenitalia, which I have a lot to say about it, so it's another topic to say. But driving in Italy is a pleasure, because great roads, because the going from one point of Italy, for example from north to the south of Italy, for example Puglia, which I love. I mean, it's one of the regions that I love the most in Italy. There are so many others to explore, but for the summertime, truly, it's like I've already been like 2 or 3 times, and I would come back again because it's beautiful. It has so much to offer. However, no matter from what region to what region, there's so much to see, there's so much to enjoy, and believe me, the best way you can do it is by driving a car, which is not so expensive, which is not so, off the limits in Italy, because you can get you can start from a simple car like a Panda, for example, Fiat Panda, okay, for like you can get for 2 or even 3,000 euro, which is not so much. And step by step you can go to Jeep and Ferrari and whatever you want. So, but what you must know is the rules that are valid here in Italy, in particular if you get a driving fine, which will happen sooner or later. It will happen, it's inevitable, like Thanos. So how to deal with them, how to correctly pay them and not get confused and overwhelmed, because if you don't do it in due terms, it gets complicated. So I want to share with you today one of my experiences of paying fines not the correct way as it seems to be. So how to do it correctly and in due terms and avoid headaches, unnecessary headaches. So if this video is of your interest, then keep on watching. Today I want to share an explicit example of what happened to me some years ago, like 2015 or 16. So how to drive safely on the Italian roads without taking big fines, saving time and saving money, okay? Now, the main rule in Italy, and I learned it on my skin, so that the center of many cities, the small villages and big cities like metropolis of Milano and Rome and I don't know, other like Verona, it happened, and other cities, they are marked as ZTL, Zona a Traffico Limitata, which means a limited traffic area, okay? Meaning that you are entering in a zone that is of limited traffic circulation, which means that if you do not have an explicit exemption, a permit delegated on the car license plate or other way, you will get fined, okay? If you have a reservation in a hotel in the center of Milano, for example, it's not explicitly taken that you are arriving there by car, so you are exempted from it. No, you must ask at the hotel of, for example, Milano in the center, to release an exemption for your car plate for that exact date that you will arrive and the next day that you will go off, because to have that, exemption so you can enter in the center of the city. Today's rules are even more, let's say, complicated in some point, because in certain cities, for example in Milano, in the area A, because Milano is so big, it's huge, okay? For example, I'm living in the hinterland of Milano, but there's the center of Milano with area A, then there's area B, and then there's area C, and then there's hinterland of Milan, okay? So to enter in the area A and B, there are, besides the exemption that you must have on the car plate, there's also certain particularities about having an electric car or having a hybrid motor on the vehicle because of the pollution, etc., etc. So there are additional rules, and they're always, quite upgraded in this from this point of view. So you go directly on the website of the municipality of the city that you want to go. For example, Bologna, you go to the city of Bologna, Milano, the city of Milano, etc., etc. And I know that most of the times it's in Italian, so you should use the Google translator, or you should ask a friend who is Italian speaking, okay, to translate it to you, because there are some for sure particularities and you need to read all of them, okay? But the main point is that if you come here as a tourist and you want to rent a car, or if you live here as a resident and you have both a car, okay, you want to travel a lot, and that's the best part, okay? And going to visit different cities, you need to be informed where you can go with your car, because as I told you at the beginning, old cities, and in Italy it's like 99% of the cases, they're all old and ancient and beautiful, okay, but old. So the main roads that are going to the center of the city, and also the center of the city, like the square, the central square, etc., are of like 99% of the cases are ZTL, so Zona a Traffico Limitato. So either you ask for a permit in advance, like at least 1 day in advance, but it's better even 2 or 3 when you are, for example, thinking where to go and what date, what to visit, etc. So you are planning your traveling, then just take it in advance and ask for an exemption. However, the point is this, that if by accident, what happened to me, I didn't know, okay, so I went to the center of Verona. I wanted to show the old city to my sister, and by accident I entered on some of these roads, because the thing is this: if you enter on different streets in the same date, or if you, for example, go roundabout because you cannot find maybe a parking lot, or you cannot find the street that you're looking for, or maybe the I don't know, the hotel, etc. So you go round, you know, and you enter on a road which is ZTL, and then you go around and you enter again on the same road and you go around, and that means that you're not going to have one fine. You are risking to get multiple fines, okay? Because every time you enter on the same road that is ZTL, you will get a fine. So the risk is that you can get like lots of fines. So pay attention to that, okay? Now, what happens if you get fines? How to deal with them and how to pay them correctly in order to close it and forget it. Now, in case you get fined, okay, first of all, the police will from the city that you got the fine, for example, I don't know, Verona, Rome, or Milan, or whatever, they will send the penalty, so the payment, to your residence address, okay? Because when you come in Italy and you are a student or a worker, or you get married, etc., etc., you will have to register where you live. So whatever you do in your life, okay, whatever penalties you will get, they will be sent to your resident address. The question is complicated when you change oftenly the residence address, because there will be a confusion. The bureaucracy, unfortunately, in Italy is still quite slow, so you will not be immediately found out. So you know, they will send first to the first residence address, then they will send it to the second, then to the third. You know, it counts how many times you have changed your residence address, but the penalty will not be cancelled. It will still be there, and it will get complicated, but whatever. The point is, you get fined. They will send the letter to your residence address, and you can contest it to the local judge before paying, and I accentuate before paying the fine. And for that you will have a certain period of time, which is about 30 days from the receival of the letter. Anyway, it will be indicated in the letter if it's 20 days or 30 days or 60 days. Sometimes it depends. That has a reasoning. I mean, you have a good reason to contest the fine if you by mistake took the same road, like going roundabout 10 times or even 3 times, okay? Because you can contest it by saying that, okay, I didn't know that the road was ZTL. By mistake, I went once, I went twice, because I was looking for the final destination. I couldn't find, so please reduce it to 1 fine. I agree that, you know, I was wrong. I went on a street that I didn't see it was, you know, limited of traffic limited. So you agree to pay 1 fine. So from 10 fines, the judge may reduce it. It's not that it will for sure, but most of the cases judges say, yeah, I understand, by mistake, human being, you went on the road you shouldn't, so okay, 1 fine of, I don't know, 70 euro or whatever. But if you agree to pay the fines, for example, in my case, I went by mistake on 3 different streets that were ZTL, so I went there, so every enter on a different street, it costed me like 70 euros. So in total, it arrived a letter, a green letter, which, you know, immediately says that it's like, it's a driving fine. So inside were 3 driving fines of 70 euros, so in total 210 euros to pay. So if you agree to pay the fines, it means that you admitted you violated the law, so you pay the penalty and you cannot contest it later. That's a thing you must understand, because it's like it's how it works. They say that you can do it later, I don't know why. No, guys, no. If you pay it once, it means that for the same violation you cannot contest it later. Case closed. So I got fined. And the thing is that when the letter with the driving fine arrived to my residence address, I was abroad. I don't remember exactly if I was visiting my parents or I was maybe in a business trip. I don't remember exactly because we're talking about many years ago. It was like 2015 or 16, something like that. So whatever, I was abroad. When I came back, I found, because when the postman is coming to give you the letter, it's always a recommendation, raccomandata, they say in Italian. So it's a letter that must be given by hand, okay, and you must sign. It's like the a very important kind of letter, okay.